Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. It is Monday evening, the 17th of October, and it is 10 minutes to 9 p.m. I am sitting inside in my sitting room. My wife is laid out on the couch. She is sipping a beautiful glass of Pinot Grigio with a fresh ice cube that I just took out from the freezer to make sure that she's properly hydrated for tonight's podcast. Our two children are asleep upstairs, but yet it still is the same scenario. We're in the same room and the fucking monitor could go at any stage. Since the early days when they were in different rooms, now they're in the same room. They've got bunk beds, Harvey on top, Hunter on the bottom, and tonight Hunter went off easily and Harvey had to hold Mammy's hand until he fell asleep. It's kind of beautiful to hear it, but to be in it, you know, it's not that fucking beautiful. It's gorgeous. I had an unbelievable weekend, particularly work-wise. This week I had the pleasure of opening for Laura O'Mahony in the Everyman for her solo show, kicking, screaming, roaring, laughing or skitting, and it was fucking amazing, absolutely amazing. It's my second time this year doing stand-up on the Everyman stage, and it's such a beautiful room for anyone who has ever been in there. Like, from a stand-up point of view, it's actually gorgeous because you're right on top of the crowd, but the crowd, it's not like, you know, the Opera House is 1,000. I think the Everyman is like 600 people, but it's old, it's Victorian. You're on top of the crowd. The seats are lush. It's almost stand-up, like there's almost like a stand-up club vibe to the place. But then there's also the elegance that it has and the history that it has, and being backstage, looking at all the posters and, you know, going into the dressing room, feeling kind of like a movie star. It was pretty cool, and the gig itself was, I'll tell you now, I've done a lot of comedy this year, but the gig that I did this weekend with Laura was unlike anything I've done this year. It was unbelievable. Like I warmed up the crowd. First of all, I did half an hour stand up, but then Laura got me involved in the show, like improv panto-esque, which was, you know, all, you know, dancing to music and stuff like that. Like, when she had a dress on me, it was all madness, but it was and silliness, and the two of them go very well together, madness and silliness, and it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. The next day then, improv panto rehearsals. We're back to that. We're into that world already. But yeah, it's that's what it was. And then, of course, we had Harvey and we had Hunter and we had the cousins up on Sunday, and that was cool as well. And yeah, life is just kind of like going at 100 miles an hour at the moment, I feel. 100 miles an hour, and it's hard even to sit back. Like, I just forgot about the cousins there, and that was a real highlight for the boys this weekend. And yeah, it was just great. But sometimes you get caught up in your own world, and it's good to try and stand back and smell the roses, but like, fuck it, sometimes you don't even think about doing that. So that's why this podcast is good for me, I think, anyway, is because it forces me to analyse what's just gone on. And I've often talked to you, Noelle, and I'm going to bring you on there now in a second, about things that are going on, and then from the conversations we've had on this podcast, acted differently on than I mightn't have had we not talked. But anyway, that's me. That's what's going on with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. Thanks for everybody who's listening to the podcast. Rate, review, and subscribe. If you're liking the episodes, I would appreciate that. But I'm going to bring on this week's guest now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lady that I get to sleep with sometimes. Not that much lately, because anytime she's off, she's putting the boys to bed and ends up kind of going over and sleeping with Hunter, but that's all right. That's gonna change too. She's beautiful. She's amazing. She's my wife. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the incredible, the Queen Murphy. Yeah, the crocodile. Yeah.
The Queen Murphy.
The Queen Murphy. Well, O'Sullivan, the Queen O'Sullivan. It's nice to throw the old O'Muraku in there as well. You like that, don't you? You're still Murphy at work.
I'm still Murphy at work. Yeah. So I'm used to hearing Noel Murphy.
Yeah. I think it's. I don't know. What do you think about? Like, I love that you took O'Sullivan, but also I'm like, I think it's cool that you held on to Murphy as well for,
Yeah,
for
I think probably maybe if I didn't, the kids wouldn't even, like, Harvey knows now that my old name was Murphy, like, and he knows that whole thing, that whole changing your name and all of that.
And it's a throwback to your dad, who is no longer with us, as well. It's a nice link into like it was funny today when we got some money. Your brother gave you some money because of some land that you're renting out or something like that. We got like €250, remember?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, we were trying to spend it in town today, and we got like a child seat and stuff like that. And I got the journal for next week, and you were like, huh? That's from Daddy now. That's from Daddy.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, because like I never met your dad. Do you know what I mean? I never met your dad, and it's kind of it's cool to remember. Like I had Anne on the podcast, your mum on the podcast on the Patreon. She was on a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
And it was a great conversation, but like it's kind of weird. I never, like, obviously not that weird, but like it's unusual never to have met someone who half made you.
I suppose, yeah. I suppose maybe. I suppose I don't see it as weird.
Of course.
But I suppose there is a figure that is talked a lot about that you've never met in the house. Like, when we're down in Kerry or whatever, I suppose. It comes up, like, you're guaranteed that Daddy's going to be mentioned. Yeah. At least once or twice or whatever.
And I love the way you all refer to him as Daddy, like you're, like all of you, like.
That's because he stopped in time.
He stopped in time, yeah.
So he never grew older, like.
Yeah, he never became dad, or I know. Yeah, it's beautiful though. It's beautiful. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. Your dad.
You went there.
I don't know how I went there.
Very fast.
I don't know, but it just happened. It just came out of my mouth. Yeah, he passed away when you were younger, and we won't talk about that. There's nothing to talk about. How are things? Is the first question I have for you. How are things with you? You haven't been on the podcast for a couple of months. How are things?
When was I last on?
I think it was the end of June, at the end of July, the start of August. I think was the last time you were on.
Oh yes, so not that long ago.
Yeah,
really. I've been longer before.
You have been longer, I suppose. Yeah,
but good. All is good.
Do you know what I'd love you to do now? Actually, right? I kind of came in there with an intro of my last few days. Can you kind of, because we're in the same place, we're in the same house, and you're off the last couple of days. Give me a synopsis of, because. Yeah, give me a synopsis of your last few days over the weekend. What you did on Saturday, what you did on Sunday. Your view, your take on how the weekend went from your perspective. Considering we're still living under the same roof.
Imagine if I just went, life is shit, isn't it?
No, because we did things together, but we also were, tearing apart. So, we'll say from Friday or Saturday.
Well, Saturday, I guess. Saturday. I finished work on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
So on Saturday, I took Harvey and brought Hunter as well because you were working. Harvey had a new OT, so he was having an assessment with her. So that was an hour. So that was good. It was grand because Harvey did the assessment, and then Hunter got to play with all the stuff as well, which he loved. And it was gas to watch the difference in their abilities, or interests, I suppose, as well, because everything Harvey does in OT, Hunter loves in reality. So from stuff to do with the fine motor skills or the puzzles and things like that, like Harvey's hates them and Hunter loves them, like, and just so it was interesting to watch. And so all those kind of games were there, and so Hunter was delighted with himself. But anyway, so we had that, and then I had a play date arranged for here with Harvey's friends from school, because it's good to, when I work the weekends, it's nice to get as much in with Harvey in school now. It's nice to get as much into the weekends that I am off, especially with play dates and things like that. We get most stuff in weekdays anyway. We go to the playground or those kind of things even on a weekday. So, but the actual,
that was your Saturday, so it was like fairly chock-a-block, because you came off a night shift. You finished at, like, you were home here at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I did a shop on the way home, so about 9.
And then you went to bed for maybe 3 hours.
Yeah, Hunter came up, remember, at half 12.
3.5 hours, and then you got up and took Harvey to an OT meeting, then had a play date. And then what did you do in the evening?
That was it, really. They left.
That's hardcore. That's hardcore, like.
And then we chilled and went to bed, the three of us.
Yeah, you went to bed early. Yeah. That's hardcore, though. That's hardcore, like.
Then you came home. You were home about 11:30, weren't you? Buzzing
off my tits.
So I came down to you.
And I gave you a debrief of the night. And then Sunday, then we had Sunday was kind of cool. What did we do Sunday?
Lovely. We'd Susan, your sister, and Millie and James.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. It was lashing. So it was nice. We didn't stir. We had them over. So that was lovely. And prepped for the week. And then today was lovely. You dropped the boys to school, and we went for a swim. I went for a swim and you went for a sauna. So that was lovely. It was nice to
do something for us.
Yeah, it was nice to get into the water. It was nice to swim.
How many lengths do you do?
30, but I think it's only a 15-meter pool or something. I must ask Dylan again. I forgot.
30 is good though.
It was nice to get into the water.
It set us up for the day I felt today. I genuinely think.
It's gas, because you say it set us up for today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, half the day is gone by the time we were home. It's 11:30.
But it wasn't like, I mean, we still had to collect the boys. We still did some gardening this afternoon. Clear. Like, we did a lot of decluttering outside with leaves and stuff like that. You made a lovely dinner. We had fajitas. We all sat around. We all ate as a family. There was a bit of crack going on. Then this evening we were hopping and jumping on top of each other inside here. Fucking flat out. But like, raising kids is tough it's constant going, isn't it? Like, it's just constantly going. Like, I
think it's hard no matter what situation or scenario you're in. I think it's just difficult.
There's degrees of difficulty, obviously, but like, just like, even just like raising regular kids, like, it's just tough going. Like, it's just, they're so fucking demanding, bastards. Like, I suppose disclaimer, I love my kids.
But I suppose, like, you could even see, like, you can see with the differences between Harvey and Hunter, like, and you're not trying to compare. It's just they just appear. They just pop out. Like today, Hunter's so independent, but like, he's going to have skills straight off the bat, if that makes sense. Like, he's already. Well, not that Harvey won't have, but Harvey has to learn and develop and be coached and helped to get there. Harvey will always get there, but 100%.
But
we know
slowly,
what Harvey,
like, he's like the tortoise in the race, He'll get there slowly. Just for those of you who are not familiar or new to the podcast, we're talking about Harvey. That's our 5, soon to be 6-year-old, who is autistic. And we're talking about Hunter, our 3-year-old, who is neurodivergent and neurotypical.
Yeah.
Is the thing that.
Well, today we think he's neurotypical.
At the moment we think Hunter is neurotypical. Tomorrow he could be neurodivergent. We just it fluctuates, which would probably mean that we should get it fucking checked out, which we were going to do anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to clear that up because there are new listeners to the podcast,
is there?
and they wouldn't.
You think that you'd actually? I don't know why. I just think that there's all. The listeners always there,
yeah.
but they pop on, I suppose.
Exactly, and like they may not be up to date with the crack, So we're just talking about the day to day with the boys. One being neurodivergent, one being neurotypical, and the different challenges we have. And to be honest, at the moment, most of the challenges are coming from the neurotypical kid, Hunter. He's
yes, yeah. But he's being a really typical stubborn 3-year-old, I would say, wanting to do everything himself.
Teenager.
Everything. I mean, I do it, Bummy. I do it.
Yeah. He won't hold my hand now when I'm taking him to school. But school is on a main road, he won't hold my hand. And I said it to you and you were like, and you just never know what to do with the parenting side of things. Like you were like, well, like some of the parenting books say, if it's safe for him to walk. And it's like, it always is safe. Do you know what I mean? If there's a car coming, I'm right beside him. But like,
well, I'm talking footpaths. Like
it's on the footpath now. It's on the footpath.
He ran out on the road today. He didn't run out on the road. He ran around to the side of the car that had the car seat, which was on the road.
Yeah.
Which was him out on the road, though.
Like he's just his favourite word is no. But anyway, we're going to move on. Trending topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. # Cork floods.
Oh.
Well, I can go on.
You're not meant to jump in straight away there to talk about your experience of the Cork floods.
Cork floods. #.
Didn't see any of them. I knew it was lashing rain here on Sunday. Only thing I saw on Instagram was from a place in the Galtee Escape, you know, that venue. That there was a road flooded, but I didn't really see anything really about the flooding in Cork.
Last night in Cork at the Improv on the South Douglas Road, there was a punto caught in like a flash flood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had to I was dropping the musician back into town after the rehearsals, but like literally we were snaking down back roads. Like I would have been home nearly 40 minutes earlier only for the delays. Yeah, but it was just a freak flood in Cork, and that's just trending today. I don't know, it's a load of shit. # the British.
I'm going to be like, I've been really out of the mainstream media at the moment.
It doesn't matter. It's like,
I know that's what's
trending.
Has
what's your verdict on the British? That's what's trending. I don't know why it's trending. Well, I
suppose it's because the pound is crashing and their government got the shit, but I still.
That's literally, for a woman now who doesn't know mainstream stuff, that is pretty mainstream.
I haven't listened to the news in a week,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But I just saw that today. I heard that today because you had it on.
And have you any opinion on them in general?
No.
Okay.
I actually.
Yeah.
I know there's obviously such a huge history, but
what did you make it? Did you hear the thing last week where the Irish women's team qualified for the World Cup final?
Oh yeah.
And they were inside the dressing room and they were singing, ooh ah up the ra. I said ooh ah up the ra. It's just like.
But but that's not what they were singing, was it? Wasn't they singing?
It's a part of a fucking here we go. Like it's a part of a song,
like
it's isn't it like the field and rye where once we've had there's
that's the song, yeah. That song,
and that
ridiculous.
There's no way that they were singing it glorifying what was going on, but at the same time,
oh, lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Oh, the free birds. That's different. That's not the song that was trending.
Yeah, but that was the thing anyway. I don't know the song it comes from, but it's like ooh ah up. Anyway, they were saying ooh ah up the rap. But anyway, I don't know. I think it was a fucking amount. They made a mountain out of a molehill.
Well, I think the media made a mountain out of it, and then
But then I did hear one counter argument on the radio about it, and it did hit home with me. It was like, how would you feel if you were the son of the father who died in one of the pubs that were bombed by the IRA, we'll say, you know, and you're seeing this Irish team 30 years later, and they're like, ooh, up the road, say, ooh, up the road, or, you know, whatever they were.
But I don't think that was the song. I think it's important to know that.
But it was a whatever the song was, there was a reference to it. It was an IRA reference to it. That's what the whole thing is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the song that's coming into my head now, but that is there was a generic fucking thing. I was I can't think of the song now, but I know it is. I know it's like
but
hey,
I
baby,
think
let the free bird. I can't remember what the fucking thing is.
I think that it goes to the culture of social media that you can be guaranteed that half those, like, you can be guaranteed that most of those girls have, or those women, it has nothing to do with the IRA, and it's a chant and it's a song that's sang.
And it's just a cultural thing that we were brought up with. I completely agree with you. Yeah,
it's the social media side of it, and it being shared that's incorrect as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And maybe there is no harm to that point. Maybe there is no harm in them apologising that
they did. They all apologised.
Yeah,
they were all made feel fucking. I just didn't like the way they were made, because it was insensitive. It wasn't insensitive even, because had they been told beforehand or reminded, go, guys, just maybe don't do that song, they'd be like, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It was the euphoria had taken over. They just
just
qualified to win the fucking World Cup, and the bloody British then are bringing them down, the bastards. Anyway, #MasterCard. This is just trending. I don't know anything about MasterCards now. Did you ever have a MasterCard?
It's just another variety of Visa, MasterCard.
What's your verdict on those? What's your point of view on?
I don't know. I didn't know anything on the trending topic of it, to be honest. Why it's hashtag? But
yeah, but what's your point of view on credit cards? Yay, nay? Do you like? Do you dislike? Why are you laughing? Why are you smiling at me there? Because I don't know. Like, have we got a credit card debt at the moment? I should know.
Well, it depends on how you term it. I suppose we technically have.
Yeah, well, I suppose
a credit card, and we technically owe money on it. So is that a credit card?
Yeah, how much?
Debt? I don't know. It's like $2,000 or something.
Jesus.
Right.
But
like, our limit is way beyond $2,000. Like.
Yeah. Well, but should we just pay that off?
Yeah. Yeah. Pay it off.
Yeah.
Just bought the pink tickets and a few bits on it.
You have to use it, I suppose. So yeah, so you like them? You're for credit cards?
Well, I prefer I don't handle my credit card as well as I could.
Okay.
No, yeah. So I do and I don't, I suppose.
But this brings us back to the whole fucking life is, you'd nearly need another life to organise your life at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much.
No, I don't think it has nothing to. I actually don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with your ability to save and your ability to how you spend money. That credit cards are not. Credit cards are designed for the banks, like, and they earn money on the credit that they give you and high interest rate on your credit card. So they're there for the people who are spending, who spend.
Right. We're going to play a word association game. Okay, I'm going to give you a word. You give me a word back, or a feeling, or a colour.
Why don't you have a little moment there now while I fill my drink first?
Okay. What kind of a moment are you looking for? What?
Well, you're well able to talk.
I am well able to talk, but like that's like I'm about to go into a word association game where I give you words. You have to give me words back, and there's no area here for me to fucking waffle on.
It's just I won't.
Yes. Christ
Will
almighty. Jesus Christ, you'd pour a gin and tonic in a hurricane, guy. Yeah.
Why don't you explain? I'm always conscious of this when you say that you're rehearsing for the improv panto. Can you clarify that?
Yeah, well, we're not, like, obviously it's all improvised on the night. It's in the Cork Opera House this Christmas in December. Just check the Cork Opera House website for dates if you're thinking of going. But the audience chooses the panto, and they also cast the panto. So we'll have like about 9 different pantos up on the screen behind us, from Cinderella to Aladdin to fucking you name it, it's up there. And then the audience start roaring, whichever 2 become apparent. Then Laura will go, okay, give me a shout for Beauty and the Beast, and there'll be a big roar. Now give me a shout for fucking Hansel and Gretel, and then there'll be a big roar for that as well. Whichever roar is the loudest is the panto we'll do. So if it was like Beauty and the Beast, we'll all queue up. We'll have numbers 1 to 5, and the character names will drop down on the screen behind us, and Laura, who does the hosting side of it, will go, who do you want to play Beauty? And then the crowd will roar 1, 2, 3 or 4 or 5, and whichever one is more prevalent or more obvious, then that is the character that you are. So quite often I become, I'm princesses or Cinderella.
Beautiful face.
Well, it's like obviously the opposite, which is quite hurtful, but at the same time the money is good at Christmas, so I need
I should just clarify, you still didn't clarify.
I'm getting to it because people may not know what the improv panto is as
well. Okay.
So I'm also saying that. So then for rehearsals, what we do is we have a new cast member this year. So shout out to Declan Wolfe. He's got a drama school in Cork City called Declan Wolfe Academy, and we are meeting because we all haven't done anything since lockdown either.
Oh yes, you've actually.
It's 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, so we're meeting to go through it all again, and yesterday we met and we did Beauty and the Beast. So, but it's completely made up on the spot.
Were you Beauty or did you go with you?
I was Beauty, because the new musical director as well, Dylan is his name, and he cast it, and sure, of course, he didn't know any of the history. Because I have a beard, it's a beard. I think it's a beard.
Yeah.
And I'm a small, bald, fat man. Do you know what I mean? It's hilarious that I'm Beauty and the Beast. What did you say about my belly? How dare you?
It might be okay if we've got a cast of all with the beard and the belly there for Beauty.
That'd be hilarious. So we just, and that's what we do. We go through and we do. We have to find the mechanics as well, and just improvise songs and stuff like that. So we get used to fucking singing.
We're going back into because remember when you started, so you said it actually today or one of the days you said, you're doing the improv 10 years. I don't think it's 10. I think it's about 8.
I think it's 8 years.
8, yeah.
I think it's when we're with each other 8 years. Maybe it's 7 years.
We're
actually
with each other 10.
Oh, are we? Okay, so it was it was about a year or two after we got together.
Yeah.
So about 8 years, yeah.
And it's about now actually that you got cast in it. Remember?
I remember. I had to do an audition first, but
But what was I saying? And you really struggled at the start. Remember with the improvised songs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did now.
Because you couldn't rhyme. You hated it's the rhyming that was catching
it. It was very difficult. But I remember the first place we did it was in a cat club in Cork, which is now a storage area for the Opera House, and it only fitted about 60 or 70 people. And we ran way more shows. We did Monday,
14
Tuesday.
Or something, wasn't it?
Oh no, we did nearly 18 or 19 shows in December, and we did double shows some nights and stuff like that. But we could start on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, double show Friday, double show Saturday kind of vibe.
I know, I went to loads of them, remember?
Yeah, and it was great, and they just picked up, and now it's kind of a tradition for people, and we're on the main stage now in the Opera House. And
fantastic show. Yeah, it's amazing.
They're great fun. But anyway, I don't know how. Did we get onto that from from you pouring the wine?
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Okay.
I knew what to do to keep you going there while I poured my drink.
Yeah. Talk about the fucking panto. Word association game. Laptop. Come on now.
Was that just a random word? It's not trending topics. Oh no.
No, trending topics is over now.
Okay. Sorry.
So I'm gonna name a word, and you just give me a random whatever comes into your head. There's no right or wrong answer. Vitamins.
C.
Swimming.
C.
Paris.
Where we're not going to Pink, and instead we're going to Sunderland. Close.
Sunderland.
The place of love, which is what you said when I text you to say so we didn't get Paris to go see Pink, we got Sunderland.
Pink.
Your first time shitting. in my vicinity.
Oh, great. That's a fucking brilliant fucking association to have with pink.
Well,
your memory of me having a dump for the first time.
Well,
when you take a pink.
It was part of it, right?
Yeah, well, I suppose it was, yeah. But that's in another episode. Go back and listen to that episode.
Is it there?
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
we talked about that. The crocodiles we were calling it.
Yeah.
Weed.
Connie.
Hunter.
Wild.
Home.
Cold.
Autumn.
Leaves.
Halloween.
Fun.
Cup.
Full.
Harvey.
You're just even sun.
Winter.
Electricity.
Hat.
New.
Car.
Old.
Kilovollen.
Home.
Coal.
Gone up in price according to Con. Con goes to the sauna and he brings all the doom
Bad
and gloom.
news.
It's like he goes to wake every time he goes in there in one sense. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. One minute he feels relieved because of going to the sauna, but then he gets all the gossip. It's like...
The price of the bag of coal now is nearly €50. We don't fucking believe it.
It's like Mallow's version of the men's shed.
Climate.
What's herself's name? Gertin. What's her name again? Gretchen. What's her name again?
How am I supposed to know what fucking person you're thinking of?
The girl with Asperger's. That's the
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah. See, you did.
Well, I did, but I didn't know you were thinking about it.
I was saying Greta. I was saying Gur.
Gur.
All right.
I'm fucking going mad. I didn't get it from that actually. Gur.
Gur.
Okay,
Greta.
what am I thinking of here now? Right. Come on. What am I thinking of?
Jew.
Oh, Joe Biden. All right. Joe Biden. Crack.
I don't know.
Oh, fucking hell. Life. This is the last one.
Wild.
All right.
I don't think wild deserved that reaction.
It was just the you were like wild, and then you just put the fucking took a big huge gulp of the.
I didn't.
Of the wine.
I took a sip.
Oh, did you? Was it a sip? Was it? I'm sorry. It just looked like an ocean of wine was cascading into your mouth. Okay, so thank you for being on the podcast. I've got a few questions I'm going to ask you here now, right?
Okay.
And then we're just going to finish, okay? And I want you to...
And by finish, you mean I must edit the podcast and then upload
put it up. And then I must take a blue pill and we're going to have it right.
What?
Nothing. How is life now compared to last year when our family unit was getting back to what we'll say normal is? Basically, how is it comparing for you now to then?
Oh, interesting question. It is good. I suppose we're at a new stage now with Hunter in school. So it is allowing us that time in the mornings. So, which is great. Yeah, I would really enjoy it.
Especially when they're at school, not so much at the weekends.
when they're not
not at school.
Yeah,
like having that time to ourselves in the morning when they're in school. I do think it is. I think it's essential, really. I do. I actually do. I think it's essential. You know,
essential. No,
essential. Like even now tomorrow, like we plan to, do similar thing that we did today. But just even if you did, even if you were in here watching television, watching Netflix for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's just being able to. I was talking to you about this today about keeping our own cups full, and it's interesting.
Because I said cup full.
When I said cup in the word association game, that you said full straight away without even fucking thinking, and I was like, oh, that's something class, because we were talking about that today, keeping the cup full. Next question: are you happy?
Imagine if I said no. Yes, I am. I'm currently.
Because you know what I mean by that question now, right? Is I know you're happy, right? Because I'm happy, but you know the way you can be. Like I don't fucking you it mightn't be your main emotion at this time. Do you know that kind of way? Like, no, I'm fucking kind of frustrated, or I'm sad, or I'm lonely, or do you know that kind of way? But in general, I'm just about happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. But we've had a nice few days now. So I'm always rested and content usually on this day because I've been home for a few days. So usually the cup is full. It's full of the kids and it's full of relaxing from work. As I said to you before, I always get a kick out of thinking about when you start work first after college and you have the weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, you're recovering from the weekend gone, and Wednesday you're about right, and then Thursday you're looking forward to the weekend again. You might have a couple of drinks on Thursday night and you're into the weekend then, and so Monday again you're tired and wrecked and dying, and start the week off again. Whereas now it's like Monday you're refreshed, or whatever your equivalent to Monday is when you work shift, but your first day you're refreshed and you're taking on the week, and then but by Friday you're wrecked and you need the weekend again. It's like as you get older it changes. So
it changes.
Yeah. I would say I am content.
Yeah. You're like in your life, like at your stage in your life, do you feel... Do you know I'm asking you this question, right? Is because we were talking about at the start of this year, we were considering whether we were going to go again. I think we talked about this on the podcast, whether we were going to have another child, and then we decided against it. And then in the last couple of weeks, I've been talking to people who are going again, and and then I was at training with Harvey last week, and I was talking to a friend of mine who has 3 boys, and they just recently had another baby, like to make it 3, and it put even though we've confirmed ourselves and we're both delightedly very, very happy that, and in our decision that we're not going to go again, it fucked up my own biological clock. I was like, Jesus, do we need it? Would another baby be nice? And I know how much hell it is. It has been a very difficult transition with the 2 boys. They were just, they were difficult at night with sleeping and stuff like that. And but isn't biology just crazy?
Yeah,
that it does
yeah,
that
yeah.
to you. Like?
Well, I think, Connie, I suppose we are very heart-driven normally, and we are making this conscious decision in our heads to give our 2 boys the time and effort and the time that they may need. As we get older, we're making the head decision not to have a third baby. So that's...
Well, I think it's also a heart decision as well, Noelle, because we're saying, in a way, we're saying we've got 2 beautiful boys here now, and they're healthy.
Yeah, and we can't. Our hearts can't. Are fearful if we went again.
If we went
just because
exactly, if we went again and it didn't, and we were on, like we had
we've
a child.
Been so blessed.
Yeah, we've been very, very blessed.
Blessed that, like, we conceived easily with our 2 and we had no issues, and lots of people have miscarriages, and it's rainbow baby week or day this week, for baby loss and stuff like that. And I think I just, after having 2 healthy boys, and it's everyone's decision and all of that, but just for me now, I just, at this stage, I couldn't psychologically. I don't think I could take such a loss at the moment. I think I'm kind of fragile, so I don't think I could take that, and I don't think I want to bring that potential into our world. Yeah, I think it's on that. It's part of the weighing up process, I suppose. And like, we are both older. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't know that I say this to you, but like, I'm very happy with our decision. But I'm not going to say that I amn't a little bit disappointed with some of the aspects of our life that has led us to have this opinion or make this decision. I said that too, actually, didn't I, during the week, that like, it is definitely the right decision for us. 100%. Partially myself, I piled on the weight after both boys, and but from a physical health going into having a third child, it's not anywhere near where I would want to be physically, the strength of carrying a baby and having a baby. So like, you know, but that's only one of many decisions or paths in the road that we have taken or ended that has where we're at. Like, you know, you're 45.
That's
I'm
true.
turning, you know, we're not both turning 40 next year.
Yeah.
You know, it's different. You know, it is different.
And I'm definitely noticing that, and even in the last couple of weeks on the podcast, I've been talking about aging and getting older, and like I'm 45. In 15 years ago feels like yesterday, right? So in 15 years' time, I'm gonna look back at now and go, geez, I was only 45. You'll be sick. I'll be 60, like, you know.
Yeah,
So if we had a child now, you know, let's say we had a child next year, all right? If we got pregnant tonight, if we didn't use any protection, all right?
You've great intentions, right? You never put this plan into my head.
Well, it's been the pill hasn't gone down yet, but oh fucking hell. But yeah, but like, you know, being a dad at 60 to a 15-year-old, Hunter is you might say, like, Hunter will be 18, which is still, I know it's only 3 years, but it's still like you're finished your leaving cert. You're probably going into college, or maybe you're just doing your leaving cert. But like, it's nearly done. Do you know what I mean? In terms of your kids are getting to the back
Well, that's
end
actually, do you know what? That is a good point, in a sense, that what is a few years when you think about it in the...
Fuck it, let's go again.
No.
Let's do it! No, I know what you mean.
Anything just to do it. But
no, but like, even, I know what you're saying. But like, even that, I was only saying that hit me biologically, talking to, I'm not giving away names, you know who I'm talking about now, talking to people who we know, friends of mine who you know, have babies, new babies again. And I met a comedian there recently. He's the exact same as me, and he's a patron on this podcast, and his wife is pregnant now, and they have 2 boys the same age as us, and he's a great comedian. I won't even say it now because he knows who I'm talking about. He listens to the podcast all the time. But they're going again, and I was like, Jesus, sure, I'm the same boat. They're like, you know, and then I know another friend of mine who's a comic who's, anyway,
you're always going to relate to the people who are going on their third, and or who have 2 boys, and you know, you're just going to relate to people who are on the third, or who were on the pregnancy journey, and you're now coming off that journey. That's the thing. Like, it's the same as, like, that's the exact same as.
But I know in my head that our decision is right, Noelle. Yeah. I do, but I know in my head. But what's crazy and fucked up is biology. Do you know when people are, you know, that funerals are supposed to be an unbelievable aphrodisiac for fucking
connection or something, is it?
You feel the loss, and the instinct is to fucking copulate and have sex and have babies to repopulate. It's an instinctive thing. It's a fucking mad thing that's deep down in our coding. Like, when I'm talking to that guy at training last week and cooing and cawing with his little new baby, and I'm like, oh my God, would it be that hard? And I know how fucking hard it was, because it was fucking torturous during lockdown, like for at periods. I remember like going, oh my God almighty, this is actually hell. This is hell, fresh hell, you know. But now looking back, I'm so delighted that I went through it.
Yeah.
But to go through it was fucking torture, and I don't want to do it again. So I do know that our heads are the right thing, but it's just a mad thing. This is a long podcast, and I want to ask you these questions because I think they're important. So the next question is, tell me about your love affair with Pink.
My love affair with Pink.
Yeah. Tell me. So just to give a bit of context to that question, we are going to go to see Pink. Noelle's favourite artist in the world is Pink. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
Yeah. And since I know you've listened to Pink, and anytime you listen to Pink, it transforms you as a human, Noelle. I don't know if you noticed this. Like, you could be inside in that kitchen listening to Pink. You're shaking your ass. You're fucking shouting out lyrics that are fucking brilliant. I think she's a brilliant lyricist. She changes the vibe in your world, and I want to know your love affair.
I think.
How did it begin? What was the middle, and how is it now?
Oh, I don't know, really, because it's interesting, because I'm kind of a lazy music fan, so it's just like, Alexa, put on Pink there. Do you know, but it has developed that it is Pink I listen to, you know, like I never really got in big into music, do you know.
Listen to Green Day today, of your own choice.
I know that, but that's my point, is in when it was albums and back in my teens, way back when, like I would have gotten
50 years ago.
I would have gotten, you know, I would have had loads of different, an array of music and thing and stuff. But it was like when I moved to it being on the phone, we'll say, I didn't really like go out of my way to have albums, and you know, I had a few bits.
Did you prefer buying CDs? Like, I must get that CD now and play it in the car. That's how I listen to music. Even now,
I think it was that age that everyone, when you were in secondary school, you talked about music, like, you know, you kind of, whatever music, you talked about it. But I think I kind of just lost that, and then just kind of followed on with, and then so Pink was definitely one that stuck around. Pink.
So when did you first kind of start listening to Pink? Like, I know now you're not prepared for this question, but like, how, like, what were you in college? Was it before college?
I suppose
was it just after
in college. I can't really remember. That's why.
Because when I met you, you were living in the Loch. You were fucking 28-year-old girl, 28-year-old woman, who, in my opinion, was like fucking, you know, cool. You were like, you had your own. You had specific tastes, and Pink was, because we went on holidays very quickly, and Pink was like, I feel that she's the soundtrack.
But see, that was it. So I downloaded the Pink album on my phone, that phone then.
Okay.
And and it was Pink's greatest hits, and I continued to listen to that album over and over again.
Yeah.
So
was it then? Was that where it kind of began? So the love affair.
No, but it would have been there because I would have known a lot of those songs. But it was then that she became a permanent fixture in, like, my music tastes, I suppose.
Yeah, and okay, so the development of that, then we'll say, like now when you're listening, like,
but her songs are brilliant. Like that's the thing.
Tell me about her. Tell me why you like her. Because I tell you, before you give me that answer, I don't think she's the best singer that I've ever heard in my life, but I don't think that matters. But go on anyway. Sorry, tell me why you love her.
I just think it's like her opinions are very valid, I suppose, and her, like, I think as a role model, she continues to inspire younger, not my age now, but younger,
yeah.
But her music, like her songs are really good, and they're about being an outsider or an insider or not giving a shit, really.
She's very real, like.
Yeah, like some of her songs obviously are as poppy as anything, but it's her. Like her Dear Mr. President is a great song, and that was probably one of your, like, that was your real introduction to her.
I
it was
remember
actually that album, I think, whatever one that
I remember
one
listening
that
to
was.
that in Italy on a bed, and going, oh yeah, she's
not bad, actually.
She's actually, and that, like, when I said
that was the Crocodile song.
That was like, I was like, she's actually clever. Her lyrics, because like I always thought Pink was just, you
Pop.
used a term there, pop star. You know, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, just manufactured. But she is not manufactured, or maybe she was at one stage, but she didn't. She broke out of that, and I think her songs are great. Like I'm going to start listening now more. We're going to Noel. We were trying to get tickets, right, and we were trying to get Paris, but we ended up getting Sunderland for some reason,
which is kind of just the
which
way
is just as romantic.
Which is just the way the pendulum is.
They have the
swaying at the moment.
The disappointment.
I was like, I came off a night shift, going on to another night shift. So like time is precious then in the mornings,
There's an Eiffel Tower pizzeria over there that we'll have to go.
Big time. And I was Of course, I missed that tickets were on sale on Friday at 10. Of course, I never, so out of the world of ticket sales and all that, there's pre-sales, never thought to look for those. But anyway, and it was on sale at 10 o'clock. But sure, of course, 10 o'clock in France is an hour ahead. So it was like 10:30 France time by the time I went looking at tickets. So I was way back in the queue. That's how it. But then I ended up crashed loads of times. But it was 2 hours trying to get tickets at the time, and the only ones that were available, not in France. I did get tickets for Hyde Park, but Cornelius,
I don't want to stand. We were talking about my age already. I don't want to stand anymore. I'm 45. I want to sit down and be able to get a nice sandwich.
He was lucky that I got tickets eventually, or it could have been a cross that he didn't realise it was going to be a cross he was going to have to bear as I gave up.
I have bad knee. Well, it's getting better. Do you know what I want to ask you now next, right? That's a lovely answer, right? But what does what does music mean to you now? Is it more meaningful to you in the last couple of years?
I think it's more meaningful since we got Alexa, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so too. Like, that what we had there in the kitchen this evening with Hunter.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Oh my God, Noelle.
Yeah.
Like, when you're looking at... Excuse me. I'm drinking sparkling water now, so I'm belching a little bit, but...
A little bit of gas.
We're talking all about the difficulties of parenthood and the challenges of parenthood. But I came into the kitchen this evening and you were holding Hunter, you were cradling Hunter, our 3-year-old. No, like he doesn't need to be cradled anymore, right? But he was loving it. And you had the stunning on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what song it was. What was it? Was it Johnny? I don't know what it was. It was a lovely song anyway. And the two of you were there and you were just looking at each other and giggling. And then I came in and you were like, do you want to join Dad for the dance? And then I came over and we were there. And then it was just like a little, maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all kissing each other and Hunter was
pulling in our heads, taking turns.
You
do it, Daddy. You do it, Manny.
And like, it was, I got emotional. I got tearful during it. And I just think that's the power of music. Like, I think Alexa really, you got that for me for Christmas 2 years ago, was it?
I'd say it's nearly 3 now.
3 years. And I
he
remember
nearly threw it back
like,
at me. He didn't know what the fuck it was.
What the fuck is this? I was like, Jesus Christ almighty, I've been fucking giving you hints for FIFA or some video game or something like that. But anyway, you got it. And it's, even throughout lockdown, it was like, I say thank you to Alexa now and everything. I'm like, thanks, Alexa. You're welcome. But like, that today, Noelle, what, like...
Yeah, that was lovely, like...
Come on, like... And that wouldn't happen
gorge.
without music.
Yeah.
You know?
And Hunter loves music so much. Oh my God.
He does. He does. Okay, we're going to finish up there. I've just... your favourite takeaway. What's your favourite takeaway?
Sus, actually. We need to get it again.
Mine is Indian.
Oh, Indian. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We must get that. We might get that tomorrow. Last question. Will we make love tonight?
I've no intention of answering that.
Oh, yes. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. You've just listened to a conversation that myself and my wife will definitely listen to when one of us is dead. You know? There's a Patreon link in the bio if you want to support this podcast. You get early access to podcasts. You get extra podcasts. You get to support Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. And thank you for your time. I love you all. Good night. God bless. Stay in by the wall. But if this is the morning, then as well, there's no point in disregard the good night part if this is the morning. Stay in by the wall. Love you all. Bye, 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 bye.